Hello students, hope you all are doing fine and you all are listening to the videos carefully and completing all your home assignments. So today I'll be starting with the poem Animals from your book First Flight. This poem has been written by Walt Whitman. See, basically in this poem the poet tells us that he feels that animals possess better qualities than human beings, and therefore he feels more at home with animals than humans, which means he wants to stay with animals and not with humans because he finds human complicated and false. That is, humans are not as real as animals. They have become artificial. So basically in this poem, there is a comparison between human beings and animals. The poet has talked about the evils that humans possess, and he says that animals are very pure. They don't have anything that is unreal. They are not evil-minded. And he thinks that animals are much better than human beings. And therefore, he wants to stay with animals and not with human beings. This is what is the gist or the summary of the poem. That he is appreciating the good qualities of animals, and when he compares both, that is humans and animals, he finds that animals are far better than human beings, and therefore if given a chance or if this is possible, he would love to stay with animals. So now I'll start with the actual poem. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. So he starts the poem and he says that I think I could turn and live with animals. So what is he saying? That I want to take a turn. To take a turn because of course he is born as a human being. But now he wants to take a turn and he wants to live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. Placid here means calm and contained means keep up control. So he is saying that animals are more peaceful than humans. They are calm in comparison to human beings. That is, they have no greed for materialistic or worldly things. They are not dying, I want this, I want that. They are not dying for things. They are self-contained. That is, they are happy with whatever they have. Unlike human beings who are jealous of others, they are jealous of others' wealth, others' fame. They cannot bear this. They want to pull down. So these are the reasons he keeps standing. He keeps standing and he keeps looking at them for a very long time. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, nor one is demented with the mania of owning things. Now, whine here means cry. Sins means wrongdoing, and demented means mad or disturbed. So here in these lines, what is the poet saying? That unlike humans, animals don't complain of their misery or sorrow. They never cry to show their grief or any kind of loss. They don't keep awakened at night crying in repentance for what they have done. Unlike human beings, they don't do these things. Animals, they don't show their sorrow or their anger, their grief, their loss. Whatever is there, they are accepting it wholeheartedly. He says that animals are truthful because they never boast of their good deeds that they do in the name of God. So here people would do a small act of charity and they would make it public. And nowadays, if you see, we are going through a very tough time, and there are some people who are really helping others. But there has also been a controversy on social sites and media that when you are helping others, it should be in silence. You should never make it public. So clicking selfies and showing off. Animals, they don't do all these things. So that is what he is saying, that animals are truthful because they never boast of their good deeds that they do in the name of God. Humans, they try to show that how religious and charitable they are. They do so because they want to gain name and fame. Animals don't trouble others by doing such things just to become popular. Unlike humans, animals are not dissatisfied. They are not mad for owning things, and they are happy with whatever they have. They are not mad behind worldly things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So, they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself, they evince them plainly in their possession. So, not one kneels to another. Kneel here means bow down. किसी के सामने झुकना. So, he says that he has never seen any animal bowing down in front of any other person. They don't do so even for their ancestors. Ancestors मतलब हमारे पूर्वज. They don't show their devotion towards God like humans. Humans bow down in front of other humans. They do so for their ancestors, for saints, or any preacher whom they follow religiously. Okay, but animals, they don't do so. They don't bow down before anyone. No one is more respectable because unlike humans, they don't discriminate. There is no discrimination between rich and poor. Okay, there's no gender discrimination. For them, everyone is equally important. Unlike humans who find themselves either the happiest or saddest. They don't go through all these feelings. Everyone is happy because they are devoid of any kind of greed. So this is what is being said. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. They are not unhappy because they don't possess these kind of evils. They are not jealous of others. They are not greedy. They are not dying to buy this, buy that. They are not materialistic. So, they are not jealous of others. So, they don't go through all these feelings. No one is happiest and no one is the saddest. Further, the poet emphasizes that animals are more honest in showing their relations. So, they show their relations to me and I accept them. They show their relations to me. They show their real self. They are very honest in showing their relations with other animals. They don't pretend. Unlike humans, they are not hypocrites. एक हिंदी में बहुत फेमस मुहावरा है, आप लोगों ने बिल्कुल पढ़ा होगा, मुंह में राम बगल में छुरी. तो ह्यूमन बींग्स ऐसे ही होते हैं. They are very sweet when they meet you and the moment you leave, they'll start talking ill about you. Okay, so आपके मुंह पे वो बहुत अच्छे रहते हैं, but आपके पीठ पीछे वो पूरी तरह से छुरा भौंकने का काम करते हैं. That is मुंह में राम बगल में छुरी. So he is saying that unlike humans, they are not hypocrites. They kill other animals for food and they don't hide this. That is how they need to survive. They have to kill other animals for the food. So it is not that they are very good in front of the other animals and the moment they turn their back, they pounce on them or they kill them. They do it when they face them. So they are not hiding this. So he is very happy. He is elated to see that animals are true to themselves and others. Evince here means to reveal. They bring me tokens of myself. Tokens here means quality. They evince them plainly in their possession. So now he is saying that whatever the qualities they possess, they reveal it. They are not hiding it from anyone. And whatever they have, whatever they possess, they are proud to possess those qualities. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? So at last, the poet is asking a question. The question is, from where did the animals get these qualities? And he wonders why he doesn't have such good qualities. And if he possessed these qualities, did he leave it carelessly somewhere? Or qualities like innocence, kindness, truthfulness, they are nowadays not found in human beings. And therefore he wonders that humans gave up these qualities intentionally or they negligently passed it on to animals. And if this has happened, he wants to stay with animals. So these are the good qualities that animals possess. And human beings nowadays, they have become very materialistic. They are dying for worldly things. So now he does not want to stay with human beings. He wants to stay with animals. So we are done with the poem. I'll only discuss few literary devices. I think, I stand. So the word I and I is repeated. This repetition consecutively in the lines is called as anaphora. Here if you see long and long, the word long has been repeated. This is called as repetition. They do not, they do not, they do not. Again, the repetition of the words in the consecutive lines. This is called as anaphora. Sweat and wine. This is comparison with the human qualities. So this is called as metaphor. Again, tokens of myself. They evince. Token, qualities, evince, reveal. Again, comparison. So this is metaphor and there is no rhyming scheme in the poem. I hope the poem is clear. Thank you students. I'll meet you again in the next lecture.